Hello. As you unmuted it, you were cracking your knuckles. I think the first thing people heard was the crack, crack, crack of your knuckles. The unpleasant ASMR that nobody signed up for is Doug cracking his knuckles directly into the microphone.
You know, for years I've been getting one person saying, I like your videos, but can you just do cracking your knuckles ASMR? So I just want to give him a little bit of a break, a literal break there. So that's for you, Disturbed Sir.
Good, great, wonderful. We're happy for them, Doug. I hope you're happy, my friend. Sorry, Wicked on the brain, even though I haven't seen it yet. God, I gotta see it.
I was gonna say, I haven't even seen it yet.
I know, but listen. Wicked came out when I was in high school. I was the right age for a musical theater kid to just dive into it when it was a stage show. So
that part was awesome. By the way,
yeah,
in the movie, the ending, that part was really like, that's, you know, like you think of it as like a kid, like, oh, I wonder what this would be like as a movie and stuff like that. That scene in particular kept running over and over my head. Man, that'd be cool to see her flying around, and it's just as cool as like I thought it would be in the movie. So it was pretty awesome.
Anyway, hi chat. Didn't mean to get off on the Wicked tangent right away. Welcome to Chatting with Doug, and also Cracking Your Knuckles with Doug. Happy almost Thanksgiving to those of you who are in not North America. That would be a lie. That would include Canada, the United States. It will be tomorrow. But you know, today we're here to give thanks to you, chat, because we're thankful for you
in the bars, because we know it's also Blackout Wednesday.
That's right, it's Blackout Wednesday.
I just found out about this. I never heard this term, and I'm like, man, that makes way too much sense. I don't know how I never heard that.
Indeed. Well, let's get to the rules here, because I see we do have some questions coming on in. First and foremost here, we give priority to the bit messages and the super chats, since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have time for highlighted questions over on Twitch or regular chat questions over on YouTube, but we can't guarantee that. Excuse me. Sorry, I had a little burp. Let me over-explain myself, sorry. Right, got distracted. Don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. Also, don't monopolize chat. Sometimes I don't normally say this rule, but I feel like it's been happening more and more. What we mean by that is you may not be spamming the same word, but if you're just like, hey, have you seen this? How about this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Like, we don't need a message every 2 seconds from you, all right?
I was kind of wondering what that meant too. Okay, now I see.
Yeah. Don't monopolize the chat, all right? On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over. We get a large volume of questions, so that's just help to facilitate the questions and get through the paid questions faster, because I swear we want to be able to get to the questions that don't require a super chat or bits to be able to be answered. So that just helps with the larger volume of questions to get through. If we have time, we'll go back and read the ones that are under $5, but please understand that we prioritize $5 and over super chats over on the YouTube side of things. Watch the length of your questions or comments. The longer it is, the faster we have to read it, and the less likely it is that we're going to know what the point is anymore and be able to answer the question. That does also include multi-parts. If you absolutely must break up your message into multiple parts, please keep it to 3 absolute maximum. Again, same thing happens where we lose the point and we don't have time to figure out what you're talking about on part 5 and how that relates to part 1. We just don't have the time to do that. Please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. If you break any of these rules, specifically about like the super chats and bit messages, I reserve the right to shorten or ask only one of the 5 questions that you have asked. I'm sorry, we just have things we want to get through. And like I said, we do want to be able to just chat with chat instead of just reading the paid messages. Please, no spoilers, okay? Not everyone has had a chance still to watch the end of Arcane, or some of us, even though we love musical theater, haven't seen Wicked yet. And I know there are some things to spoil. People have said there were little surprises. Don't spoil the little surprises for me, okay?
Oh, that's okay. Actually, there is. At first, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh wait, yeah, okay. There is like one little thing.
Okay, all right. Well, don't spoil the one little thing, Doug. Okay, and chat. Okay. I think that's it.
Think we good?
I think we're good. No swearing, Doug.
Yes.
Not on
Damn
this Christian Minecraft server.
it.
Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Hello, Meet the Duggins. First, if you can find 25 minutes to spare, check out a short film on Disney Plus called An Almost Christmas Story. It's cute and has amazing visuals. Second, with the 10 highest grossing films of this year all being sequels, what do you think that means for the future of cinema? That's a good question.
I mean, we always go through these weird, moments where it's like, okay, well, everything seems to be disaster movies, everything seems to be remakes, everything seems to be sequels. Remakes and sequels and reboots, relying on past IP seems to be the big thing for a while, it seems like. But even within that, comic book movies, were really, really big for a while and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that with what I like to see, whatever they do, is that I like to see medium-sized budgets come back. And like with Disney this year, we've seen, I mean, two huge, probably three with Moana too. Their big hits, were Deadpool and Inside Out 2. Compare that to the previous year where they're just throwing out thing after thing after thing. I think just spending time on just, those one or two films and trying to get them just right, I think it's the better way to go. And like I said, I think just lowering the budget, because I think a lot of those films, I mean, maybe not a lot of them, but several of them would have done fine if just the budgets weren't so crazy. And they're looking cheap. That's what's so weird.
Yeah.
So that's what I definitely want to see. I want to see the I never thought I'd say that. I want to see the budgets go down, and probably a little bit more time put into them. I think that should be good.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. NC4 from Justin to Kelly. It's a perfect showcase of everything wrong with the early 2000s.
I believe you. I never did see it, but I believe you. And I remember I got asked a lot in the early 2000s. I feel like that time's passed, though. I don't know how many people would remember that. I know I'm supposed to, so you don't have to. But I didn't get into a lot of that, so even I wouldn't remember it that great. We'll see, but it's unlikely. It's not a time I like to focus on. I'm not a fan of the early 2000s.
Nerdy, thank you for the 500 bits. Review on Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I hear it's pretty fun. Let me write that down. It might be time. Because I haven't seen it, but I heard it's pretty bonkers.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever watch Yu Yu Hakusho?
Maybe. So I have like 5 or 6 other animes or like a bajillion episodes that I need to watch at some point. And I've just kind of reserved myself too. I'm probably not going to see them till like after I retire. I'm just, because there's still shows and movies now I need to watch, not just for this job, but just because I want to watch them. And that was kind of low on the list. I've heard of it. I hear it's good, but just compared to like
it.
You think so? Because compared to like One Piece and Dragon Ball, a few others out there, I feel like I kind of want to see those a little more. But if you say I like it, I mean, you've been pretty right about a lot of that stuff. So in terms of what you think I enjoy. So all right, I'll try to push that up the list, which will still happen maybe 20 years from now.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the latest Bob's Burgers episode? I feel like it had been a while since we've gotten a Bob and Louise story, which was nice to see again.
Yeah, I agree. Those are some of my favorites when they have those two characters together. I mean, they're all great characters, but the ones where they interact off each other, I have no other word for it, but sweet. It's really sweet. I really like those episodes. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it wasn't like hilarious or anything, but I thought it was pretty good.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I am so excited that you added heavyweights to this year's Disney-cember. Ben Stiller cracks me up in that movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing everybody can agree on, whether they like or dislike that movie. Everybody loves Ben Stiller. So yes, that is going to be on there. You'll just have to wait and see what I think.
Kevin Lane, thank you for that 7-month membership over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Isn't Richard's response in The Pagemaster funny? Tom Morgan, give the word, Captain Silver, and I'll show you the color of his insides. Richard, red, they're red.
Yeah, that's cute. I think I remember that line.
RLX, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you planning on making a 2024 movie and series catch-up video like you did last year? If so, I'm interested to hear your take on the substance.
Probably not, unless So I got some time off coming up. Like maybe I'll see some more modern movies and shows that came out around this time, but I don't think it's going to add up to much because most of the things I wanted to see, I did like a video on. I talked about. So probably not because again, I haven't missed a whole bunch that I really wanted to see. Haven't done a video on. With that said, I have not seen The Substance. I really want to.
The V-Man, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, you need any commercials for next year? Because I know a Puerto Rican coffee company that's still using a mammy in their commercials in 2016.
Ooh.
Hell!
I was gonna say,
Oh.
pretty unlikely YouTube will let that on, so probably not. Thank you though.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you review the Robert, I'm going to mess this up, Benini Pinocchio from Miramax Disney December?
I guess I could because people have wanted me to review that. Yeah, let me write that down. I don't know if I have that down. Well, okay, so not for this year, but it'd probably be for the next year. Because yeah, I have heard people recommend it just to see how bad it is. I am a little curious.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Just wanted to say I'm thankful for you guys and all the content that you make. Keep on being awesome.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
you.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for watching for so long.
Yeah. Brian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Streaming has been killed for me by some channels. Thankfully, not yours. I appreciate you not ruining things for me the way others have.
I mean, I try not to, so thanks. Glad we haven't gotten to it yet.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, what's that behind you? Oh, wait, that's your stuff. Would you please be so kind as to show us some of them and explain them to us? Goodness, I have a lot of things behind me, so I definitely can't explain all of them.
At least explain the Hot Pockets.
I do have my Hot Pockets micro freezer, which I won in a contest like a year and a half ago. I was sponsored on my personal Twitch channel by Hot Pockets for a year. So that is indeed a Hot Pockets branded freezer with a microwave welded on top of it. And on top of that, I have my gamer Rilakumas. Next to that are my Legos that I built on stream. I've got a BD1 and a tall neck from Horizon Zero Dawn. My other shelf next to it has a ton of stuff. There's plushies on top, anime figures, Gundam models, other nerdy stuff. That's the fast version because, obviously we have a lot. We don't have a lot of time is what I was
Nerd!
I am a nerd. Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's your opinion on the new cereal monster, Carmella Creeper?
Well, the cereal's good. I didn't think it tasted much like apples, which everybody's like, make an Applejack joke. Yeah, no, I should have. I don't know why they didn't just go with like a zombie or something, because I think on the back of the box it says like the story, and she's like, I think the cousin of Frankenberry. It's like, oh no, she's a Frankenstein monster, but she's also like a zombie, but she's also a werewolf. I don't know what they were trying to do with that. I'm like, just make her a zombie. That's easy. But the cereal's pretty good.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. I noticed you still don't have 102 Dalmatians on your Disney December preview. Are you not reviewing it this year?
I am not. It's always one of those where I have it on there, and then just other things catch up, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I have to push it back again. So I always do have it on there. I'm not a super rush to see it. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, no, I remember liking the first one fine. I'm kind of curious how they would do a second one, so I always put it on there. But yeah, it usually does just get pushed back.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which movie do you like more, Wacko's Wish or Tiny Toons Adventures: How I Spent My Vacation?
The How I Spent My Vacation. It is a lot funnier. Wacko's Wish is a little bit more, combining comedy with like a little heartfelt, but then kind of pulling the rug out from you under you, which I like. But the Tiny Toons How I Spent My Vacation is just constantly funny and creative. I love the way the stories all intertwine together. I do wish they released both of those. I wish they released as a big screen movie. It's a shame they didn't, but yeah, no, they were. They're both pretty fun.
Justifiable Treason, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you any interest in reviewing a movie called Lords of Chaos? It's a music bio-op starring a Culkin. I know music fans are still mad at you about The Wall, but making black metal nerds mad would be funny. Trust.
Lords of Chaos, 2018. I have never heard of that. Rory Culkin is in it. How about that?
A Culkin?
A Rory Culkin. I don't see the Rory Culkin that much. This this does kind of look like fun. What is it's just the more pictures I see, the Vice Films. What is it, like a mockumentary? Okay, yeah, I'm a little curious. I think I gotta check this out. I'll have it on my radar.
Obro Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, did you see the rest of Arcane? If so, what are your thoughts? Happy early Thanksgiving. No spoilers though.
No spoiler. I think I got 2 episodes left. I'm loving
Oh
it so
man.
far. The Heather, how far are you? Did you finish
I
it up or
finished.
no?
Oh, I finished.
Okay, the one 3 episodes before it ends, I thought that was so anime. What they did, that's so like what an anime show would do. I'm just
Okay.
like, oh my god, yeah. So it kind of cracked me up with that, but I'm absolutely loving it. I hate that this is it though. I hope they do like a spin-off series or something because I know there's other characters and worlds and everything. But yeah, oh, I loved it. So, and I love, you can tell they had their animation budget cut down because a lot of Netflix shows did. And the way they work with it is so smart and so clever because it's a show where they already could change up the style quite a bit. So the way they utilize that, I was just like, I know what you're doing, but I don't mind because you do it so smartly. So yeah, I'm very, very impressed with it.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of the CGI in the first 3 Michael Bay Transformers movies, particularly the transformations themselves? I think the effects hold up.
You know, for CG and how, what other way you can really do it? And I guess you could do stop motion, but it would, I think it would still look a little odd. Yeah, I think they look fine. Honestly, they still look of their time. They look definitely of that Michael Bay time. You know, you can tell not like this is a Michael Bay film, but you know roughly what year it was made. But I still enjoy it. I thought they looked pretty good. You know, again, I wish they were a bit more colorful, like a lot of people say. But I get why he had more of the gears, the hot rod. You know, it just looks like there's a million engines in there and stuff. And I get it. He knows his fan base.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, maybe in January, would you please check out The Borrowers 1997 and do an NC review? It's probably the most nostalgic film in my life.
I have it on the list. I'll try to get to it.
Invader Zim, thank you for the 500 bits. People always forget this Christmas movie, On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
You know, that's one where whenever people bring up, like, is it a Christmas movie, question mark, all that, people do bring that one up, and I keep forgetting that technically takes place around Christmas. So, I'll be honest, I forget which one that is. I know it's one of the older ones, but yeah, because again, I like James Bond, but I'm not a super fan. Like Brad would know. Brad Jones would definitely, he probably knows every line in that movie. But yeah, no, I do forget that because I forget even which one that is.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chats. Why are zombie movies and games always based on 28 days? Because to me, it's really getting annoying. What happened to magic zombies?
I don't know. Was that a thing? Magic zombies? I didn't know that. Or maybe like what, like in Hocus Pocus, where they hypnotize all the people, like that kind of thing. I guess I don't know what magic zombies are. I'm intrigued though. Intrigued.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. In case you're running out of ideas for next Disney December, you can do Touchstone Pictures.
I already kind of am. I just include that in the lineup. You know, I've done like, you know, Sister Act and Roger Rabbit and stuff like that. So they're already in there. I haven't made like a special effort to focus mainly on them, but I don't know. I got other ideas for the following year. So don't worry. We good. We good.
Bernsey, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, I enjoyed your review of Meet the Spartans. I'm sorry you had to watch Meet the Spartans.
I love the way that was phrased. Yes, it was not disaster movie, at least.
Matt Norton, thank you for the $5 super chat. What movies/shows would you recommend for someone who has to spend Thanksgiving at home recovering from ligma?
From ligma?
Yeah, it's a trap, Doug.
Okay.
It's a trap.
Okay. I'm already going through my head. Well, what would I say back if you say it quickly? Wait, you know what? I'm probably thinking too long about it, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since I believe you share a birthday with a certain director, what are your top 3 favorite Martin Scorsese movies?
Geez. Hugo's really good. Goodfellas. Hmm. Oh, I really like, I was gonna say Taxi Driver, but honestly, I really like King of Comedy. That's a very underrated movie. I think it's a lot of fun.
Oh wow, Heather's
Oh.
brain. Oh, Bro Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the last Sonic 3 trailer? The last moment in the trailer was actually really funny. Haha.
Yeah, it looks good. The only thing that I think it goes without saying that like whatever the Eggmans, whatever you call them, are going to be bad. But I would have liked if they kept that a little bit more of a secret until you see the movie because they're it looks like they're going to have to team up, but and they're going to pull the rug out from under them at some point. But I would have liked if they kept that a little bit more of a secret. But yeah, no, and now that I know Shadow's backstory, I'm really shocked that it looks like they're going to go all the way with it. And they can't show everything, I feel like. Again, I won't give anything away. People haven't seen it, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, for, a little, just put Sonic in a car, let's drive around. There's the guy from, Hop driving him to suddenly go to that story. Like, that's going to be interesting.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What animes do you plan to watch if you ever get around to them?
One Piece and Dragon Ball Z are the ones that are kind of like top of the list. I should just sit down and watch all of Death Note because I know it's not that many episodes. I saw like the first 2 or 3 episodes and I was really liking it. Just life got in the way and stuff. But I know it's not that many episodes, so I should sit down and watch those. And I guess Yu Hakusho.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Could you please do an NC review of Amazon Cinderella? I hate that movie so much, I'd love to see you tear that piece of doo-doo movie apart.
That was one of those we had for we did one of these Amazon stream parties or something, and that was one of the movies we had for voting, and that one didn't win. But and I keep forgetting it exists until like maybe once a year somebody will ask for it. So maybe I'll look into it. It's not like crying out to me to review it, but I don't know. Maybe if just enough people keep bringing it up, maybe I'll be like, okay, there's an audience for this, I guess.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chat. Ever think of reviewing Spaceballs?
Yeah, so I have an idea to review that with somebody with a possible crossover next year. We're talking about it. And if the person backs out at some point or something like that, I'll just do it on my own. But if there's something I want to talk about in that movie, I think be interesting to talk about with someone else, which is Mel Brooks characters versus other parody movie characters. I'm not talking about like Meet the Spartans or something. I don't even think those count. I'm talking about like, Abrams and Zuckers and stuff like that. I think would be kind of interesting.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, Ned's Declassified is one of the most underrated shows ever. Please check it out.
I'll do my best, man. I'm just finishing up Disney December, so like I think I have it on the list somewhere for like next year. So I'll try my best to get around to it.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. How would you rank these 3 Michaels based on how good they were at their craft? Jackson, Tyson, Jordan.
Man, it's a toss up between Jordan and Jackson. Probably Jordan because there's more of that spontaneity, but it's really close with Jackson. And yeah, I guess they leave Tyson next. Yeah. All very good at their crafts.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. You literally skipped an opportunity to joke about Budweiser foreshadowing what happened last year with that influencer. How can you live with yourself now?
I didn't follow it that closely, so it's just like, I'm gonna stay out of it because I like beer. So why would I be drinking Bud Light, Budweiser, any of that? So I didn't follow it that closely.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, my 30th birthday is today.
Happy
you sent me a
birthday.
Frozen-themed cameo roast. Thanks, loved it. It cracks me up when prompting them. You say things like, no, I hate you. Well, check out the charity anyway.
Also, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Captain Wolf, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you plan on seeing Transformers 1? Or if you have seen it, what is your thoughts on it? Specifically, Chris Hemsworth versus Peter Cullen's voice for Prime.
I haven't seen it yet. Really want to. My brother and I are trying to see it so we can do like a review for like YouTube members, kind of thing. But the holidays and everything, gets in the way. So I haven't seen it yet. I really, really want to. I've heard really good things about it.
Ryan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Critic, can you add Fairly Odd Parents to your Disney December list? It aired on Disney Channel in other regions, so it counts. Please.
That's a little bit of a stretch, but also I think it's another one that has like a bajillion episodes. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. So probably not. But the little bit I saw, I liked fine.
Fat Lord, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug and Heather. Of the big three Spider-Man villains, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Venom, which one is either of your favorites? Spider-Man has such a great rogues gallery on par with Batman's.
Oh, Venom. Yeah, as soon as I saw that character, I was just like, as a kid, I'm like, what is that? Spider-Man with teeth? What? This is crazy. And yeah, I just immediately got drawn to the backstory. And that's how I found out about, the Black Suit Saga and all that stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. This is awesome. So I love when they do him right. He's such an interesting kind of like torture character. And when they do him wrong, we give Venom the last dance. So yeah, I like when he's done right.
My husband is literally seeing Venom the Last Dance right now.
Oh, why?
My mother-in-law really wanted to see it. She likes the other Venom movies a lot. I think she just really likes Tom Hardy and doesn't want to just tell us that she likes Tom Hardy.
Okay, that's fair.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. 'Twas the week before Disney-cember, and all through the stream, not a pop-up was playing, not even a meme. The questions were asked to the critic with care, hoping that Santa Christ would also be there. Can't wait for Disney-cember, for it brings warm feelings to all of our hearts.
That first of all, nicely done, and that reminds me, there's like a whole bunch of people that do like on the first day of Disney-cember. Doug gave to me, and they put like these little rhymes in there and stuff. I forgot about that, and I always forget about it until I start posting them. So those are always really fun to see. I wonder if you're one of those people.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you ever seen any films done by the WWE films? They usually range from meh to bad. Example, the Marine films.
No, but I know. Hold on. The movie Oculus, which is a really good film. It's a Mike Flanagan movie, and it's about a haunted mirror, which I think is a really cool idea. That's produced by like WF, I think, or WWF, whatever it's called. And that's so bonkers to me because it has nothing to do with wrestling. It's not like nothing about it screams that they would be a producer. And it's really, really good. So, yeah, I think the only one I can even think of that I'm like, I think I'm familiar with is No Holds Barred. I think I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to see, but everything else, yeah, I'm not sure I'm familiar with it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Yeah. Which action movie with Sandra Bullock do you like more, Speed or Demolition Man?
Demolition Man. That's just more my speed, if you will. Speed is probably like has better action. It is probably better for if you just want a straightforward action flick. But if you want something that's a little odd and has some fun commentary, but still just a stupid '90s flick, Demolition Man is awesome.
Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, besides the first two Terminator films, what's your favorite James Cameron movie? Me personally, it's Titanic. P.S. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
F, yeah, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Thanks, YouTube.
Man, I'm trying to go through all the movies. Aliens is pretty great. Yeah, I just remember my heart racing watching that movie, and the big get away from her, you be scene was just one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in a film. I mean, just as soon as that door opens up and you see that, like, you just completely forgot that thing was even in the movie. So, yeah, I think that's got to be it. It's got to be Aliens.
Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. Fun fact, my brother is born in November, but it wasn't because of Valentine's Day. At the planted time, we were at Disneyland and stayed in a hotel for about 3 days. In other words, a little souvenir. No joke.
I was going to say, yep, I was going to make that joke. Well, okay, the top 10 jokes I can make about that then, but yeah, no, that's that's interesting.
Bat Lord, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Thanksgiving to you both, even though I'm from Australia. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Back, actually, I guess, even though we're from America. Wait, how's this work?
Thank you for respecting our culture of overeating. No.
Yes.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, do you think in your future you would ever do NCs of Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, or Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, I think.
Um, I don't know. I saw I did like a Dream Worksuary on both of them, and both of them I like to a certain extent. I love the villain in Sinbad. She was really cool, but I don't know if I have a passion to talk about it for like an NC. Again, it's one of those where if like a lot of people demanded it, like there's really an audience that wants to see me type, I guess I would. There's certainly things to talk about, but it's not calling to me really.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Got the perfect film for you to review next Christmas. John Goodman's live-action Year Without a Santa Claus TV movie. Everything about it is horrible, from Goodman not giving a crap to an annoying Chris Kattan.
Man, I've never even heard of this. All right, try to check it out.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through super chat. Guys, help! The Red Lobster is right here in my bang. Nah, just kidding. Made you look though, didn't I?
I can't do the sound effect. That sound, yeah. That's the only thing I can respond with, I guess.
Sir Nope, thank you for the 100, or not 100, wow, $10 through super chat.
No, very nice.
My brain totally misread that. $10 super chat. I'm probably not the first or 100th person to ask, but have you seen Hundreds of Beavers?
Not yet.
Oh my God, Doug, you're gonna love it!
I know. So part of it's getting, we're near a theater called Music Box in Chicago. And I think they run it every weekend. It's kind of like the new thing they show instead of like Rocky Horror or The Room, which actually they still show those too. And I want to go to one of those. So I guess they're re-releasing it around Christmas time. And it's just getting my wife interested to see it because, she likes comedy, but she likes more social comedies, like awkward comedies or really dark, twisted gothic comedy. She doesn't like slapstick that much. And I know that's a very slapsticky movie. So it's kind of trying to convince her to go because finding time on my own will be tricky. But I don't know. I'm going to see it because so many people have been raving about it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Wicked, what did you think of Jeff Goldblum's song, A Sentimental Man?
It's all right. This is always where it gets tricky because it's like, well, I don't want to go into spoilers, but I felt like it gave away something. Like some things were a little on the head, which I think you could hide in the stage show a little easier just because of the format. Where in a movie, it's like, well, all right, this isn't that hard to put together. So these moments seem a little bit more hammering it in, but it was still good. I thought even though he's not really singing, is he? I thought he performed it very well.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. A great point-and-click adventure you both should play is 2010's Back to the Future Telltale game. Co-written by Bob Gale, it's basically Back to the Future Part 4, just like how Ghostbusters 2009 game is indeed the third film.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I remember hearing it's pretty good. Maybe it's something to check out in the future.
Marie, thank you for the $5 super chat. I have the worst fever, but this makes it better. What is the picture over Doug's left shoulder? I was wondering last time, too. The red and black.
Okay, man, red and black. A lot of them are red and black.
It might be mirrored.
All right, so over here, I mean, I think that's that one's Alistair from Has Been Hotel. Let's see. This one is Dr. Seuss doing the Norman Rockwell painting. This is Alf looking at Jonesy about to get eaten by an alien, and then that's Azula. So hopefully one of those is what you're talking about.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, what was your reaction to Jim Cummings quoting El Capitan ordering a pizza, and have you met him in person?
Yeah, I met him a couple times. He's really, really cool. And I didn't see the El Capitan one. I gotta check that out.
Sorry, we're still live, right, chat? So I just saw someone on Twitch said, Heather, Doug, come back, LOL.
Oh, maybe
we're
because
still
I went
here, right?
over here.
Okay.
I think we're still here.
All right, great. No, chat started. Okay, I only freaked out for a second because chat started. Chat like stopped moving for a second, and I was like, "What? Chat's not moving, and they're saying come back." Oh no, we're fine. Everything's great. Wonderful. Thank you. Great. We answered the question, right? About Jim
Yeah.
Cummings? Okay.
Yes.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Don Cheadle in Space Jam: A New Legacy? I think he has the right amount of over the top and is the best part of the movie.
Boy, not for me. And I actually do enjoy that movie for what it is. I think it's just supposed to be mindless sellout entertainment like the first one was. I think it did it well. I think it did better than the first one, honestly, in terms of all that. But I thought he was very awkward and weird and off. Again, that's kind of the writing already. It's supposed to be like epically weird and off and obvious, like an obvious commercial, but that's part of the fun. And you can tell he's trying. I don't think he could find that balance. I don't think he could find a way to make that really awkward writing work. So yeah, but I don't blame him. It's not a well written character.
Dante, thank you for the 56-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is there any movie that you regret seeing in theaters? For me, it was Borderlands. You reviewed it 2 weeks ago and you made a lot of excellent points. I agree it was trash, but it was okay at best.
I saw Speed Racer when I had a headache. And that was a mistake.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, what is your favorite Christmas movie and your least favorite Christmas movie? Oh boy. I don't even know. I might go with Muppet Christmas Carol because I watch it with my family every year. And it makes me feel warm and fuzzy to watch Muppets Christmas Carol on Christmas. Also, I've mentioned this many times, but my family, for some reason, always used to watch Babes in Toyland. The old, was that from the 90s, 80s? I don't know.
It's like 1990, I think, or 89.
Reeves is in it. It's
Drew Barrymore.
It's crazy. I thought everyone grew up watching that movie until I went to high school and I was like, the holiday classic Babes in Toyland with Keanu Reeves, as all of us grew up watching, and people would be like, are you sure that wasn't a fever dream, Heather? What are you talking about? It feels like a fever dream.
And it aged great, didn't it? Yeah. I mean, no notes, perfection.
Perfect, 100%. My least favorite, hot take, and I will not explain myself besides the fact that it's annoying, Elf. If I have to watch Elf one more time, I'm going to rip my hair out and scream. Invader Zim, thank you for the 500 bits. Saw an early screening of Moana 2. It was okay. Feels like a TV pilot, but hot take, I actually liked Moana in this movie. She has much more personality in that movie.
It's about the same for me. I think the review is coming out tomorrow, but I was very to it. Leaning towards, if you really like the first one, if you just like that world and the landscapes and stuff like that, go see it. You'll like it fine. I don't think anyone's going to like it as much or more than the first one, though.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. This is part 1 of 2. I'm so happy you love the Wicked movie. I saw it 3 times already. It's so impressive how everyone sang live, and it sounded fantastic. I can't imagine what it was like for Cynthia to be flying around and belting out Defying Gravity.
I know it's live. I'm not saying they're lying about that, but with everything, you have to dub it at some point, especially with a musical. So I'm like, some of that's dubbed. If you're like, yeah, she was really flying around in that, it's like, I think some of that was dubbed.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Disney December trailer, I saw that you are reviewing the Roger Rabbit shorts, so I was wondering which one is your favorite? Tummy Trouble, Roller Coaster Rabbit, or Trail Mix-Up?
The roller coaster one. That one's really great. I think we were big we're still roller coaster fans, even growing up. And yeah, just the ride at the very end I thought was so much fun. And then the speed and the energy was really, really great.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. Part 2 of 2. To answer your question, Jonathan Bailey is known from being in Bridgerton and being in the Sondheim Musical Company. What you said about Cynthia was interesting because I felt like she embodied Elphaba, and Ariana was really good, but I really noticed her performance.
Yeah, it was again, nobody's bad. It's just some people are great. Like a lot of them are great and phenomenal. So when I see the people that are good, they're good. They're just not great. They stand out a touch more, but they're still really, really good. So it's definitely not something where I'm like, oh man, they're falling behind. What an embarrassment kind of thing. It's like, no, they're still really good. It's just many are like spectacular So yeah, the only thing I can point to, I'm like, it wasn't so hot, was the comic relief. And even then, they're not. Though I've seen far worse. So yeah, I really don't have that many criticisms of it.
Tifio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, what are your favorite Netflix original movies or shows that you would watch on repeat?
There's a
Arcane.
Arcane, definitely. I'm not gonna say the show was great, but I did have a real soft spot for Inside Job. I think I just liked the main idea and the main character a lot, and I liked there was kind of a continuing story there. There's a really good documentary about infinity, just the idea of infinity, and it was so fascinating because I'm fascinated by infinity as well. And this it's something like Hotel Infinity, something like that. If you type in infinity, you'll find it. And I don't know. It just really got me thinking of like different ideas and wow, okay, like because just the way they tried to explain it, because it's very difficult to explain. I thought they did a really, really good job. And if you haven't seen it, you definitely check it out.
Brian, thank you for the $5 super chat. How would you rank these? Gravity Falls, Amphibia, Owl House.
Uh, hmm. Gravity Falls, Owl House, and then Amphibia, but like it's really close. Like I feel like Owl House would win if the villain was a little more interesting to me. But yeah, Owl House is a little bit more like my speed and kind of the stuff that I like. But Gravity Falls is just more entertaining, and I think has better character. Like everything just balances out perfectly in that show. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
And Newt, thank you for the 500 bits. Not sure if you're that much of a book guy, but how would you like to check out my recently published children's book, Being Proud, My Life with Autism? A guide to autism explained in a way that kids will get, written by an autistic person and featuring an adorable bee girl protagonist.
It's a cool idea. I like seeing things that are, even to adults sometimes are difficult to explain, explain to kids. So it sounds interesting. I'll try to look it up.
Christian, thank you for the $10 super chat. You two should check out Two Pieces of Lost Media, which is two deleted scenes from an earlier version of Fantasia 2000 called Fantasia 2 at the time. I watched the princess one, not the other.
I watched both of those. They just dropped recently, I think, or at least they're recommended recently. They're interesting. I'm glad they didn't go with them. I do like what they went with. All things considered, but they were neat to see. It was the princess one definitely felt like a commercial big time, but it was still neat to see because before Wreck-It Ralph, I think that was the only time we saw them all together. Saw a lot of those characters together.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Future Christmas review of Olive the Other Reindeer. It's a Matt Groening TV special based off a book starring Drew Barrymore and Joe Pantoliano.
I've had people recommend it before. I haven't seen it, but I've heard definitely heard that recommendation. I'll try to look into it.
Obro Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Rank these Haley Steinfeld performances. Maddie from True Grit, Gwen from Spider-Verse, and Vi from Arcane.
I mean, True Grit's probably the best one. If anything else, she can just show herself. We can put a face to it. Man, that's rough because I haven't finished Arcane and I haven't finished the Spider-Verse movies either. Technically, there's another one coming. So it's really rough. I guess I'll say Vi and then Spider-Gwen, but either of those could change.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think is the better Long John Silver? Tim Curry in Muppet Treasure Island or Brian Murray in Treasure Planet?
Oh, Brian Murray, and I love Tim Curry. Don't get me wrong, but he's working with puppets. They're literally supposed to be puppets. Where even though the other one's animated, it takes a lot more care and really tries to get the drama of it. And we're Muppet Treasure Island. After you sing "We Got Cabin Fever," I mean, how dramatic are you gonna get after that? But again, he's having a ball, and it's a great time.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Sadly, a lot of YouTubers I used to follow have quit YouTube. I used to follow wasting money. One who would always waste money on Blu-rays at Best Buy, but now that Best Buy is no longer selling physical media, they stopped making videos.
Oh, that's a shame.
That is a shame.
I'll bring back physical media. Dang it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In How to Train Your Dragon, what do you think of Hiccup's love interest, Astrid?
She's all right. Yeah, I can't remember a lot of the friends in those movies. I just kind of remember. Like I remember them being done well, but they didn't like jump out as me as like timeless characters, kind of thing. But I remember them being done okay.
Dan Evil Robot, thank you for being a member over on YouTube for 4 months. Welcome back.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Awesome latest video, Doug.
Thank you.
Adam, thank you.
And you too. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, if you are celebrating. Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since next weekend is Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, can you do a re edit of your Pearl Harbor video because some of the parts of it are muted?
Oh, I'll look that up. Okay. I don't know that. You know what? I bet you it's got to be because of the music in some scenes. I'm sure. We had someone a long time ago who said, "Oh yeah, this music's totally copyright free," and he was wrong. So yeah, when those went to YouTube, some of those got hit. I didn't know that one was muted. I will look into that.
Prowl, thank you for the $50 super chat.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Doug, I wondered if you ever will review the very old Christmas specials like Rudolph the Reindeer, Year Without a Santa Claus, and the other TV specials that are nostalgic to most people I know. I'm talking about the ones with stop motion.
Yeah, the Rankin Bass ones. I know what you're talking about. I always have them on the list. Terrible confession. I never got into them. I see why people do get into. I see the charm. I see the fun. When I was younger, I really did, and then as I saw them older, I'm like, okay, I follow this now. I see why this is endearing. But I still don't have a passion for them. But the other thing too, because I'm sure they would do well, is they're very tight on the copyright. We did one of they did The King and I, and just claim after claim after claim. We fought it, but that's still a long amount of time. Because they can hold it for like several weeks. That's still a long amount of time to go without money, and that kills in the algorithm and stuff like that. So probably not, but maybe I'll sort of dip my feet in and try like one, maybe like sometime. So I do have like one or two on the list, but yeah, not definitely not this year.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you ever watch the movie Frequency? It's a time travel story using a radio, and thoughts if you did see it and liked it. It starred Dennis Quaid.
No, but I did hear it was good. I love the idea. The idea is really cool. But I haven't checked it out, so I probably should.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. For the next commercial compilation, how about doing the Klondike Bar ones? Also, Levi Jeans had some weird animated ones in the 80s that I loved.
Oh, I love those. I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I could get much material on that. I did do the Klondike ones. It was man, I don't even know, 3 commercial specials ago. So they're in there.
Retro Schmo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Edgar the Mole in Once Upon a Forest was played by Benji Gregory from Elf. He was a voice actor mostly on TV. Sadly, he passed away in June.
Oh, that's sad to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. How do you feel about Sam Lowry and Jack Lynch's relationship in the movie Brazil, 1985?
Oh, I love it. I mean, you're gonna have me praise. That's my favorite movie, so I'm gonna be praising a lot. But yeah, I love those friendships where suddenly, like, hey, you think you're on good terms, whatever, and then just when it gets pushed to a certain degree, and it's like you could be like, boy, it's not pushed much, but in other ways, it is pushed really far. And I love. Again, I can't go into spoilers, but I love when Jack is yelling at him, I gotta give away a little bit. He's literally strapped to a chair. He's about to be tortured by his best friend, and the best friend's like, oh, you bastard! I can't believe you're doing this to me, and he's like, please, I don't want to be tortured. I'm afraid. And he's like, you're afraid. How do you think I feel? And it's like, what a ballsy thing to say to the person that's about to torture this person. It's so well done.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the web series Death Battle? One episode I know you'd like is Chuck Norris versus Segata Sanshiro.
I haven't seen that one. Man, years ago. I know it's like a popular series, but I haven't seen it that much. That one does sound pretty fun, though. I'll have to check that out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the new trailer for the Wallace and Gromit movie?
Yeah, it looks like fun. I go back and forth whether or not I want that character to come back, the penguin. Because I like he was kind of a one-off, but at the same time, I mean, it is a really fun character. So we'll see. A good replacement for Wallace's voice too. It really sounds like the original actor.
Seth Lowry, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you guys have any desire to see the live action How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch films? I'm unsure, but optimistic.
I guess I'm more interested in the Lilo and Stitch one. Man, it's rare I say this, but they're probably going to change more in it than DreamWorks is going to change. Because it just looks like shot for shot, line for line was the exact same thing.
Toothless doesn't even look that different.
No, like exactly the same. So there's a Brad told me of a really great meme. There's an episode in Simpsons where Marge goes, Bart, no. And Bart goes, I'm right here. And she goes, sorry, force of habit. Lisa, no. And they replace it with Disney, no. And Bart's there, it's Disney. What? I'm right here. Sorry, force of habit. DreamWorks, no.
That's funny. Colin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, how's it going? Have you ever watched the animated series The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon? If you have, what are your thoughts?
Just a little bit. It's good. It's a good show. It just didn't grab me. I saw like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm like, this is perfectly fine. It's just not my thing. But the person I talked to was Heather because she really likes that show.
I like Vox Machina a lot. My husband and I are still working our way through the final season, but yeah, or the latest season. So, Matthew, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, I've always wondered and want to ask you, are you planning to do Casper's Haunted Christmas at some point in the future?
Didn't know there was a Christmas one. Might look into that.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you seen Moonlight yet? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Moonlight is that's the Oscar-winning one, right? On Moonlight.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. No, it's one of those I hear is really, really good. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but it's one of those I feel like not as much as other films, but I feel like I have to kind of prepare myself for it because I know enough what it's about where it's like, okay, this is going to be really heavy. So I got to just, like be in the right mindset, because usually when you're done with work, it's like, okay, let's watch something a little lighter. And with that, I know it's going to be really, really heavy. So one of these days I'll check it out because I do hear it's supposed to be really, really good.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Thank you so much. If you celebrate, back at you.
Tiffio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, what other forms of media do you engage with? I'm talking books, music, etc.
So I had a vision problem when I was younger, so I didn't do much reading, but then I got into it. Maybe, man, like really got it. I mean, I can read, just not great, but maybe about 8 years ago, something like that. I really got into autobiographies. I was really enjoying that, but then this fatigue thing hit. And reading is still really tricky. So I haven't read a book in a long time. I mean, like over a year, sadly. But yeah, that was something I enjoyed a lot. I like drawing a lot too. That's definitely something I really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're both, well, I think I'm probably more into books than you are. Books, music, podcasts, we just consume a lot of media.
Yeah, about as much as the average person, I would assume, yeah.
Luna, thank you for the $5 super chat. Question for Heather. What's your favorite episode of the most recent season of Doctor Who? Mine was Dot and Bubble. That end scene haunts my brain. Dot and Bubble was so good. I think it was probably Dot and Bubble. But I also really enjoyed, I think it was Devil's Cord? Is that the one with Jinx Monsoon? I had fun with that one. And then the war one, what was that? Boom. But I think Dot and Bubble was probably my favorite.
I just the war one. What's it called? Boom. That's very funny.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Moana, what do you think of Tamatoa, the crab in Moana?
It's a turtle. Thank you so much. No, I made that mistake when I reviewed it. I kept calling it a turtle. It's clearly a crab.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Sorry, I'm blown away by that. I didn't know that.
I don't know why. I think I was just super busy. I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I kept saying, there's a scene with the turtle. The turtle sings this song that's weird. I'm just like, it's clearly a crab. But all right. I don't know. It's another one of those where I'm like, you probably didn't need this, but like the visuals are kind of neat, and I got a few laughs, and like the song's okay and everything. So when I saw it, I remember kind of thinking like, you could cut this out and not miss anything. But again, sometimes it's like, this just wants to be a fun little moment. Let it just be a fun little moment.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Any particular reason you haven't reviewed the original Mad Max movies?
So Fury Road was kind of my way of like trying to talk about all the movies just in general while also discussing Fury Road. And I wanted to find kind of a unique way to talk about sort of paying homage to all these different movies and the styles and stuff like that. So that's I feel like I got everything out that I needed to about them. Like I don't know if I can really say too much more outside of that.
Lucas, thank you for the $5 super chat. I don't know how much we're actually going to answer this. Do you think Michael Jackson, quote unquote, did it or not? Or just not know enough about it?
I don't know, and honestly, as someone that grew up with his music, I'm not the one to ask because I like a lot. Like I was obsessed with Michael Jackson as a kid. As a kid, I also saw all that stuff going on, like the trials and everything. So, you know, honestly, I probably into. But if I was on a jury, I'd just be like, "Take me off. No, I can't do this. I'm sorry." It was that Dave Chappelle line. He did Thriller, man. He did Thriller. So I'm not the person to ask.
Tifio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, what are your favorite black and white silent films?
Uh, so I always forget the name of this one, sadly, but it's about these two sisters that are separated. I think one is like deaf and blind or something like that, and they're separated in this war, and it's such a good movie, and I do not remember the name of it. The Crowd is another great one. Greed is really great. A lot of Buster Keaton movies I really like. I almost said Buster Chaplin because those are my cats.
Right.
Chaplin also made some really great movies. So yeah, those are some good. Metropolis also fantastic.
Oh, Metropolis is good. I also I would like to throw Nosferatu in there as well.
Yes, another good one.
Tifio, thank you for the $5.
Oh, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That's another phenomenal one. I was blown away when I saw that.
Tifio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, what highly acclaimed films do you find overrated but deserving of its praise?
Well, it's almost kind of a trick question. It's overrated, but deserving of the praise, the overpraise. But I know what you're talking about. Like they're good. You know, they just get too much attention. I've said this before, and it's still a really good movie. It does deserve a lot of it, but I do think Lion King's a touch overrated.
I will end the stream right now. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's the fact that people act like it is absolute perfection, and that's where I'm like, no, it's definitely not that. But it is a very, very impressive movie, and I think it is a spectacle. And it's a movie you want to see on the big screen if you ever get a chance. Man, if there's ever like an IMAX screening of it, definitely check it out. It is a really good movie, but yeah, there is this idea of like it's just absolutely perfect. I'm like, don't know if I can go that far.
Adriana, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug. I don't have a question this time, but I just wanted to thank you for answering my questions for 5 or 6, if we count now, live streams in a row. I fangirl every time Heather calls my name.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you think Walter would consider doing the 43-episode Twilight Zone from 2001 or Jordan Peele's 20-episode Twilight Zone reboot of 2019? There are fewer.
I think he talks about him on his own channel.
He does,
I haven't I haven't had a chance to watch him yet, but I know I see him recommended on the thumbnails and stuff like that. So I think he talks about him there. Walter Culture,
I think it's Walter Culture on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go check it out. I think he does talk about him.
He's actually working on a big project for it right now too, so Twilight Zone related, so check it out. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Possible Disney-cember, if still going in 2028, old school Mickey Mouse cartoons for his 100th anniversary. Plain Crazy Steamboat Willie band concert.
Maybe. Actually, something after playing Epic Mickey, I kind of want to check out some of those Oswald cartoons because they had one on there. And I actually really got into it. I was kind of like, all right, I think I actually kind of like this better than the Mickey Mouse cartoon. So, yeah, maybe that might be a fun thing to review. Maybe we'll see. That might be an idea in there.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these Joe Dante movies? Gremlins, I think there's no commas, so I think some of these are meant to be broken up. Gremlins, Matinee, Inner Space, and Explorers.
Explorers is my personal favorite. Then probably Gremlins. I'll say Matinee, then Inner Space.
Tiffio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, let's play a game. Buy, rent, and sell these Marvel movies. Spider-Man No Way Home, Captain America Civil War, Thor Ragnarok. Buy, rent, sell.
Buy No Way Home, rent Civil War, sell Ragnarok. I like them all though.
I would probably sell Ragnarok, but I would probably buy Civil War and rent No Way Home. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the movie Catch Me If You Can and the relationship between Carl and Frank?
It's good. It's a, like a better way of putting it, a little too Spielberg-ish. There's a lot of moments. I feel like a lot of those moments would be more impressive. It was told a touch more realistic. Because there's a lot of times where I question what was really going on because they just felt, so this is what Spielberg does. He likes his, sort of fairy tale world and stuff like that. And yeah, with that movie, when I actually looked up what happened, I was like, oh, so that one really happened. Okay, oh, so that one really happened. But then there's a ton of other things. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a movie. That's a movie. Specifically a Spielberg movie. And I like Tom Hanks. I hate his accents. Why do we keep giving him accents? I don't follow it. But it is good. I feel like if Spielberg toned down some of his tropes a little bit and maybe made it 20 minutes shorter, I'd really like the movie.
Scarticus, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Hey, Critic, first time here, and I have a question. Have you reviewed all of the Resident Evil movies? I ask because I'm currently playing my first in VR, and I'm having a blast.
Oh man, that sounds like it'd be fun in VR. No, I haven't played the games, so I stay away from the movies because I know everyone's going to be saying, "Well, the game's this and the game's that." Because it isn't like Borderlands where they made one, they're probably never going to make another one. Resident Evil, there's so many movies. I'm sure they're based off of so many different games as well. So I feel like I'm not the one to talk about them, but maybe someday I will, because there's definitely a whole bunch of them.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for that 42-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Woohoo! 42-month anniversary to me. Also, Doug and Heather and the rest of the CA crew, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. Keep up the amazing work that you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words.
Adam, thank you for the $20 super chat. Have you ever heard of a game called Infamous or Prototype? If not, I highly recommend it. One's about a guy with electric powers, Cole McGrath. The other one is about a guy with parasitic virus powers, Alex Mercer.
Nah, not ringing a bell. Looks cool. Let me look at Prototype.
I've heard of both of those. I just haven't played them.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of Prototype. Like this imagery looks familiar, but I've never played it. Both look really cool.
Maori Link, thank you for the $3 super chat. Batlord, thank you for the $10 super chat. Much like the what if Tim Burton directed Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, maybe Walter could do what if Joel Schumacher directed Batman and Batman Returns.
That's a fun idea.
That is fun.
Yeah, maybe. I might pass that on to him. That's kind of a fun idea.
Tiffio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, how often do you two disagree with a movie, show, or game's quality? And no, Heather, Pokemon doesn't count.
I mean, think about as much as the average person. We definitely don't get in fights or anything like that. But no, but I like hearing a different point of view, especially somebody that's very knowledgeable about a lot of this stuff. Like we both like musicals, but I know she's a musical expert. She's gonna know much more about it.
Not an expert. Oh God.
Well, I mean, much more than me. So like I enjoy Sweeney Todd, but when she's like that movie, damn it, it's like I get it because I know the singing is all over the place and so weak compared to what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I like hearing that. Different point of view. And again, especially if someone can really bring something unique to it, which I feel like she does.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel like we're mostly on the same page, though.
Yeah.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a scene you can remember that got you genuinely shocked to the core and you could only utter, holy poop, because I don't know what YouTube's going to allow.
There's a scene in, I still like, this movie did okay, but more people need to see it. The remake of The Invisible Man that came out maybe 4 years ago, something like that. It's a brilliant idea. And there is one moment, I feel like everybody has this reaction where it just gets a, It's so great. It's one of those works. I saw it, I think, 3 times. And at the second time, I started to look around and see people's reactions. I love that. Another one is in Longlegs, in the first few minutes, right after the credits. My wife gets in the movies, but she doesn't, get super into them or anything. And there's a scene in the opening where she literally just, like, oh, like that. Like, she does not do that in movies. And that's how well, like, the tension was built up so early on. And I thought that was very effectively done.
Matt Norton, thank you for the $5 super chat. Potential review of Gigli. It's turkey time, gobble gobble.
I remember seeing it and just being like, meh to it, with the exception of Walken, who of course makes those moments great. But outside of that, I don't remember having like that strong a reaction to it. Like, it's not good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a ton to talk about with it. I think it was very popular for its time to hate on. Then after that, it's kind of just forgotten, aside from the walk-in scene. So I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out again and be like, oh, there's a lot to talk about. Maybe I'll review it.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. I am one of those people who always posts on the first day of Disney-cember the critic gave to me every year for the past 5 years.
Oh, thank you so much. Those are a lot of fun to read.
Tifio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, what are some of your celebrity crushes from childhood to adulthood?
Like the same one to adulthood? Is that what they mean?
I mean, yeah.
Or just in general? Let me see.
Like, I've loved Christian Bale since I saw him in Newsies when I was in middle school. And I still love Christian Bale.
Karen Allen, I really liked as a kid. I still, I mean, a lot of these women are older now, but I'm still like, but I still love them. Yeah, Karen Allen, Michelle Pfeiffer was one. I don't know if Catherine Zeta-Jones. Well, I mean, I think I was in late high school, so I guess that kind of counts. Yeah, that's all I can. I'm sure there's more, but that's all I can think of. Oh, Neve Campbell, I remember having a crush on when I was younger too, and she still looks pretty good.
They are specifying no different eras. So
different eras. Oh, well, understand. Sure, then yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Natalie Wood from a movie called The Great Race is absolutely stunning in that movie. That's one that I think really, really had a big impact on me without even knowing it.
Matt Gamer, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, next week is what they wrote, and I just completely misread it. Next week is Disney-cember. You know what that means?
Disney movies!
No. I jury duty. You and your Christmas. Seriously, what's wrong with you? Just kidding. F yeah, Christmas!
Yeah, honestly, I was just like, well, wait, if it's Disney-cember, that's not the Christmas thing, but maybe it is. I got to show up to rehearsals. I'm sorry.
This guy, thank you for the $5 donation or $5 super chat, rather. If they ever made an Elm Street film that focused on when Freddy was alive, would you watch it?
It depends on how it's done. I mean, for what they hint strongly Freddy does when he's alive, it's a little, but then again, it's a horror film, so I don't know. I guess I can see it go. I mean, those movies are already kind of gimmicky. That's the idea, but I could see it going even more gimmicky, like, where he gets his catchphrases and stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't know. You'd have to really make something unique and good. You'd have to try especially hard to make that good. To make that a really good movie. That'd be my thought.
Stead, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, what's got you so lukewarm on the first Puss in Boots film? I know 2 was way better, but since 1 was also popular with most critics, I'm curious.
I mean, you said it. It's lukewarm. It's not like it's really bad. I just didn't feel like it was especially funny or needed to exist. I like without giving it away, I like the giant thing they had to fight at the end. I thought that was kind of clever, but yeah, I don't know. The moments where it tried to take itself seriously, I was like, oh, come on, I'm not invested at all. Where with the later one, I was really invested. So I feel like, I don't know. It's not like bad. It was just very forgettable, in my opinion.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. So, Doug, for next month, will you review All of the Other Reindeer for its 25th anniversary? I watch it every year, and I find it charming and cute.
I'm surprised it's still around. Like people really watch it. I mean, I'm saying this as someone who's never seen it. But I saw the animation style and I just went, ugh, like it's just not for me. But maybe I have to sit down and watch the whole thing. So it won't be for this year because I already got the movies checked out. But we're filmed and everything. But yeah, maybe the following year I'll look more into it.
Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. It's funny you say copyright claims is why you won't review It's a Wonderful Life. Interestingly, the film bombed when it first released, which is why it was shown on TV a lot back then, because it was cheap. Go figure.
Yeah, it was also shown during summer, or I mean, it premiered in summer. That's one of the reasons it didn't do that great. But yeah, I guess somebody told me it's entering the public domain, so maybe that's something we can get to down the point. We'll see. Down the line, I can talk.
Arcanus, thank you for the $20 super chat. Doug, why don't you explore creating your own movies and ideas with the channel Awesome Cast beyond YouTube?
It takes a lot of time for one. I also have a very weird habit of writing scripts and stories that when I'm writing them, that they're new, fresh ideas. And then maybe a year later, somebody else makes it. Like I have the same idea at the same time somebody else does, which is good. That means the ideas are getting made, they're getting out there, and a lot of times they're being made by talented people. But yeah, I also say, okay, if I'm going to dedicate something that's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, because it does take a lot to make a movie. It's got to be something I know nobody else is going to do. And I just haven't had a chance to really sit down and dedicate that much time to. And I don't even know if I want to because I really like doing this. I think this is fun. I like interacting with people. I'm getting older, so this is much more my speed, and I can get out a lot of creative stuff as well. So I don't know. If something really screams at me, something that I really want to make and is really unique, nobody else is going to make this. I'll do it at some point, but I probably have to put other stuff on hold because, yeah, this is still a job that takes a lot of time and effort.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Disney Summer trailer, I saw that you're reviewing G-Force. Even though it wouldn't have made the movie much better, I was wondering, do you think Bill Nighy should have been the villain, or did you like the surprise of who the real villain was?
So again, without going into spoilers, I mean, who's gonna see that movie? But it did legit surprise me. It is one of those things where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I should have seen this coming. Once you see what it is, where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that was pretty obvious. But I thought that was fine. I guess if you're gonna do it like a real movie, I wish they structured it better. But it's also just a stupid movie. I mean, it's very clearly just just a nothing film. So there's very little I remember from it. But I do remember it's one of the few movies where I did not catch on to who was the person behind it. I was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, actually, that was, it was both so subtle but so painfully obvious at the same time. Where I thought that's kind of clever.
Leprechaun Farmer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Could you please give my girlfriend a birthday shout out?
Happy birthday to you, girlfriend.
Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug and Heather. Who's your guys' favorite Spider-Man actor? Also, Doug, did you know Nicolas Cage was almost Iron Man? Happy Thanksgiving.
I think it would have been okay as Spider-Man. I mean, how can we see anyone else but Robert Downey in that role now? And what's the first part? I'm sorry.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man actor?
Oh, I think it's come around to Tom Holland. I don't know if I would have said that at first, but as the movies kept going, now I really see, I really feel like this character is evolving and like he's growing up and everything, and he's really trying to look the part too. I'm like, yeah, no, this makes the most sense. Before that, I really did like Andrew Garfield.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. And will you be reviewing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation for its 35th anniversary this year? It's one of my favorite movies and my dad's favorite Christmas movie.
I love it too. It's a movie I definitely watch every year. It's probably my personal favorite Christmas movie because that's very much what my family was like around Christmas time. I don't know if I can really add that much about it though. I did a little video about like things you never knew with that movie, but outside of that, I don't think I can add a whole ton.
Krish, thank you for the $7 super chat. No message, just a super chat.
Thank
Adam,
you.
thank you for the $5 super chat. Beetlejuice. 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 That's it.
That's a comment. I don't know.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on the Roseanne episode where Dan and Roseanne have a big argument after Dan has a heart attack? The last 7 minutes are intense.
Is that? I think that's the one where they actually start throwing stuff around and everything. And yeah, again, it can very easily feel gimmicky. It can feel like, oh, it's sweeps week, right? Kind of thing. But because they're both so good and the writing was so good, I thought it really, really worked. I love just at the end where they, during the credits, they always do like a fun little segment or I don't know, just kind of whatever they want. And they just took the camera around the room and they showed all the damage. I thought that was both neat to see, but also pretty effective.
Marie, thank you for the $2 super chat. Hyperdevil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 49-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Quick disclaimer, this is a joke. So I've noticed there are certain NC videos where your opinion on the movie is different from mine. For shame, Doug, how dare you? I demand you re-edit them so your opinions match. Well, I'm waiting.
Okay, I'll get on it right now. Just please send me all your opinions. Wait, I know your opinions because your opinions are always perfect and I should know that. I'm sorry, I'm working on it right now. Why am I acting like I'm typing the paper when I have a keyboard right here? That is so dumb.
You don't want to actually click something real.
I guess, yeah, that's probably it, actually.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I really recommend watching rewatching Step Brothers, not Mothers, for the Christmas scenes because they are hilarious scenes with the brothers sleepwalking at night.
I'll try it again at some point. Like I said, there are some forms of humor that I just didn't understand at the time. Like Norm Macdonald, I really didn't understand growing up. And then later I'm like, oh, I love this guy. This is hilarious. Maybe Step Brothers will be the same because I do like, some of that humor. I really like Blades of Glory. I really like Talladega Nights. And Step Brothers just didn't do it for me. So maybe I'm missing something. Maybe if I go back and watch it, I'll like it a lot more.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. In the Disney December trailer, I noticed a clip from Descendants 4. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. That movie was a mess. I only watched it to see Brandy and Paolo. I grew up with their Cinderella movie.
It started out as someone that doesn't really get into those movies. They're not made for me. I started out actually really getting into it just for what it was. Again, kind of like Space Jam 2. Like, this is just a sellout, crazy, whatever. But it was really embracing it. It was getting really creative. And then goes into time travel, and it all goes really bad. It's kind of a shame, because like the first maybe 15, 20 minutes, I was actually really digging. Again, for what it was. I was having a good time. And then, yeah, it goes pretty bad pretty quick.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite Beetlejuice moment from Beetlejuice?
The backstory. I mean, the backstory itself is fun, but just him doing it like an old Italian horror film. It's Spanish, I can't remember. But yeah, I thought it was very, very funny. Very unique.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I saw Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, with 102-degree fever.
Ooh.
Probably trippy.
Yeah, I'm sure you felt great afterwards.
The Gothic Prince, thank you for that subscription over on Twitch, and welcome.
Thank you.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Timothy Dalton villain, do you like more? Neville Sinclair from The Rocketeer or Simon Skinner from Hot Fuzz?
Man, that's rough. I'm gonna say Skinner, but they're both pretty great.
Retro Schmo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Charlie Adler is my favorite voice actor. He played Byster Bunny and Ickis, just to name two. I met him once at FanX. What do you have to say about him?
I like his stuff. A fun story I always like. I talked to John Krishner, is that his name? No, not Krishner. The guy who does the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And because I knew he voiced Buster on the last few episodes of Tiny Toons. And I said, how'd that come about? Because I said, I still thought it was the same actor, just like he had a cold or something. But I really thought it was the same person. And he said, well, the actor was really upset he didn't get on Animaniac. So he left for the past last few episodes. But he did a really good Crypt Keeper. So their thought was, well, if Buster Bunny does a really good Crypt Keeper, the Crypt Keeper must do a really good Buster Bunny. And they called me in, and sure enough, I did it pretty well. And he got his blessing too, which was pretty cool. He's like, oh yeah, no bad blood to you. So that was pretty cool.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any plans to review the 1988 movie License to Drive with both Corey Haim and Feldman? I saw it when I was on a European cruise, and it was quite funny.
I've never seen it. I don't even know if I've heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. Wanted to ask you guys, have you seen the anime series Paranoia Agent and or Full Metal Alchemist, original or Brotherhood? I asked because I'm sure I've seen them referenced in an NC video before, and I wonder what you guys thought of them.
Yeah, I've seen both. Well, I haven't seen Brotherhood, but I've seen the original Fullmetal Alchemist and love Paranoia Agent. That show can get uncomfortable, like
Yeah, it can.
crazy uncomfortable, but it's very well done and really has you guessing the whole time too, just what is going on and brilliant visuals. Everything that was Satoshi Kon, that's his name, right? Just absolute master. Yeah, so I it's so good. Sometimes I forget like, oh yeah, I love this show. Like this had such a big impact on me and what I thought of anime and animation, where I was just like, oh yeah, when people say what's some of your favorite animes, I'm like, yeah, that's on there because that show is really good. And Full Metal Alchemist, I really, really enjoy.
I mean, it's
as well.
amazing.
Yeah. Though it is one of those where it took me like, I think episode 3 or 4, because I don't like in animes where they just drop you right in the middle of it. I'm like, no, I need that backstory, man. I'm sorry.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of Beetlejuice's origin story in Beetlejuice?
I loved it, especially the way they told it. I thought that was very fun.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen a Garfield Thanksgiving special and a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special? I love both of them, and Pat Carroll returns as Grandma Arbuckle in the Garfield Thanksgiving one. We
were just talking about this. I haven't seen the Charlie Brown one, which is weird. I've seen a lot of the Peanuts specials. I like them a lot, but I guess because I never, I like Thanksgiving. I enjoy it a great deal, but it's not like I had to watch all the specials around this, kind of thing. So I just always avoided it, and apparently it's a classic, so I got to watch it. And I forgot they did an anime one for Garfield because I really like Garfield too, so I should have to check that out. I should check that out, is what I meant to say.
Andres, thank you for, or maybe Andre, sorry. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Hola, NC. Will you do a Mamma Mia 2 down the road? That's something I'm looking forward to. P.S. Bring back Mr. Zabub, or is he retired?
Oh, no, he's around. We just haven't had a need for him. So I haven't seen it. I hear it's good somehow, which is really puzzling. I guess killing off Meryl Streep is a good start. But yeah, but I'm really curious how they make the movie good. So I don't know if I'll review it, but I might try to check it because I don't know if the numbers are there. Like the first one did good, but it's like, I don't know how many people are begging me to see the second one. But I might see it on my own and just do like a fast little vlog or post or something about it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your top Disney-December Boy Meets World episodes?
Oh man, I do like the one, the kind of murder mystery one, the Halloween episode. That one's pretty fun. Trying to go through the others. Though it's ridiculous, but I do like the Hawaiian episode where they just say they're going to stay in Hawaii. It makes no sense, but it was pretty funny. And I just remember one, I can't remember what's going on, but the brother keeps disguising himself. And the disguises are so absurd, and he just looks so serious in every single disguise. I mean, I was howling with laughter every popped up. Yeah, he was very. I mean, they're all pretty funny, but he especially I thought was very, very funny on that show.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which one of the Roger Rabbit shorts do you think had the funniest ending? For me, it's Trail Mix-Up, where they destroy Mount Rushmore.
That was pretty funny. Well, because they had to sculpt that Mount Rushmore too to blow it up. I thought that was really funny. Yeah, that's probably the one. I remember him marching out, with them playing the and like I think he had his clothes on a flag because everything just got blown up. I thought, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Sonic fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you going to do Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance for Disney-December this year?
This year, definitely not. We're not gonna have time. I don't know. I'm thinking just like, well, I'll look into it. I mean, I feel like because there's a lot of our games I want to try. The next Kingdom Hearts game should probably be 4. So, look out for that in 8 years.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. You should also review Matilda one day. That's another movie with plenty of nostalgia, and I first saw in 5th grade. Maybe it aged well.
It did. So there's a funny history with me in that movie. Originally, I was going to review it when the NC hated everything because I didn't like that movie at first. And I actually got not even like mean backlash. It was more about, please, no, it's really good. You should really reconsider, blah, blah, blah. People were actually really nice about it. You don't see that much on the internet, nice backlash. So I was like, all right, but man, what am I missing? And then years later, I put it on again. I think I was doing a career dive of Danny DeVito. And I saw it again. I went, oh no, I think I was wrong. I think this is really good. And it was a really good movie. So I don't know how much more I can say outside. On the career dive, I talk about it. I feel like I get all my thoughts out about it. I don't think I have a ton else to say, but it is a good movie.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. In today's episode, what clip was the soldier saying, God help us from? Also, in case you haven't heard, RIP Jim Abrahams.
From the like Hot Shots and everything. Let me see.
I don't know.
Jim Abrams. Let me see. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that's a shame. Yes, this guy did like Airplane and Top Secret, Naked Gun, all that stuff. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff with the Zucker brothers. Yeah. No, that's a shame. What was the first part of the question? I'm sorry.
Where the clip from the soldier saying God help us was from.
It's the opening of Patton.
Jordan, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey, Doug, you should check out a 1980s anti-drug PSA movie called Fast Forward Future about 3 kids seeing their own future about drugs and alcohol that stars Chicago native Richard Keeley. It's so 80s bad funny.
Huh. Oh, man, I just see the 80s arcade in here, too. This does look like fun. Okay, I'll at the very least check it out. This does look like fun.
F Major, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug and Heather. Tomorrow will not just be Thanksgiving for me, but that day will also be my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Will there be a Disney-cember this year for Miramax's The Cider House Rules? Life is Beautiful, Chicago, Sling Blade, Gangs of New York, No Country for Old Men, or Quentin Tarantino movies?
I just love the example. The Cider House Rules. Life is Beautiful, Chicago.
Right, I realized, oh no, this is a list.
Pulp Fiction will be on there. And the others I have down for like future reviews. But yeah, all the ones you saw in the preview I put out there, those are the ones I'm doing.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I can understand that you would not think there are many Disney films left to review. When I started watching those, I was still working on my digital video certificate in college.
I mean, there's plenty of films to watch, certainly, just in terms of what would people want to watch. And I always like to try add something new, and I do keep saying, like, all right, this has to be the last year I add something new, because there's nothing else. But somehow I always keep finding something, even if it's a small something.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. Someone brought up how you should cover Muppets for Disney-cember, but no, you wouldn't have to cover Take Manhattan or From Space, as they are both from Columbia, not owned or released by Disney.
Yeah, so if I did, it would actually be an excuse to talk about those movies, because I do like those movies, the Muppet movies. But yeah, but I never saw the From Space one, and everybody wants me to talk about it. So I was talking about maybe doing that. Maybe next year, adding Muppets, and I'm just gonna break the rule and just be like, if it's not owned by Disney, I don't care. I just want to talk about Muppets.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. I saw a comment saying you missed an opportunity when you opened your trunk in the commercial special to have the ring monkey face you.
Yeah, I was thinking, I didn't know if enough people would remember. So the original idea, I shot 2. One was that I open it up and there's like the Wilkins coffee guy there, and I'm just like, yeah, do the thing, and I get hit with the coffee. But I didn't even edit it because I'm just the face I had just looking at that little poop there. I thought was funny enough. I like it was very anticlimactic.
Howard, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Do you think Brother Bear could benefit from a remake?
Not from Disney. Someone else maybe. It's hard to do those stories in an interesting way, and that's kind of what annoyed me about that movie, is that it actually started out pretty good. Like, even the music from Phil Collins I really liked, and I thought was interesting. But then as soon as he turns into a bear, it just goes really lame. I don't know. It's really hard to do those stories in an interesting epic way. So I don't know how you would do it, but that doesn't mean it can't be done.
The Nerdy Giant, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug. So we know
Hey.
your character NC critics movies, but do you have a movie that you critique as NC that you, as Doug, enjoy?
So early on, we did these videos called Real Thoughts because in the first like at least 5 6 years of NC, if not more, he was much more of an angry character. And again, we like the idea that there's somebody who would look back at something he grew up with that didn't age well, and he's really angry, but something like Care Bears, like something that just doesn't really matter, but he felt really angry and betrayed. But as time went on, we still like talking about movies, and the big thing now seems to be being genuine with your
Mm.
thoughts. So it's our real thoughts that just turned up a lot louder. So right now, not really. Like what you see is kind of my real thoughts. They're just again louder. But back then, yeah, we would do all these videos called Real Thoughts, where we give our real thoughts, and you can see what we thought about there.
Richard, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Channel Awesome, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Hey, Critic, did you see my A Christmas Story? Did you know in the early post, my summer story?
Yes, because I know there's a couple spin-offs. We grew up with one. I actually saw this before, A Christmas Story. Molly's something Haven of Bliss. It's about them going on vacation. I think it still has the same narrator. So we actually saw that before we saw Christmas Story. And so I've seen a couple of the spin-offs. None of them are particularly great, but every once in a while they might do something that's a little unique. Like I do remember that Haven of Bliss one having some weird moments that I thought were kind of funny. And that summer one, I remember again having one or two okay moments, but I don't remember too much. I don't remember being awful. I just don't remember them standing out that much.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. Not sure if you knew or not, but the Steve Martin Father of the Bride films are remakes of the two films from 1950 and 1951 with Spencer Tracy and Elizabeth Taylor.
I didn't know there was so I knew the first Steve Martin one was a remake. I didn't know the original had a sequel. That's interesting. I wonder if they had the same plot. That's really real. I didn't even know like they kind of did see, unless it was a monster movie. I didn't think they did sequels back then.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Glad to see that Rocket Man is on Disney December. I drive my sister nuts with it. It wasn't me.
I can see that. I can put together why she would be driven nuts by that.
Richard, thank you so much for gifting that membership. Really appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Matinee, what do you think of John Goodman's performance?
Oh, I like it. It's perfect for what that movie needs. So that's one of those movies where I liked it okay when I was a kid. When I got older, it's still not great, but I follow everything more. And I like the idea of him, even though, he's, very schmaltzy, with a sort of, not exploitation, what did you say? Kind of, not hammer horror. I forget what you call it, gimmicky horror, I should say. That is certainly a big focus, but sort of capitalizing on the fear of the Cold War. I got a lot more as an adult, and I like the film more because of that, because now I can understand that more. You can be told that as a kid, but it's not really registering. So watching that movie again and really knowing the history of that time is great. And then the great scene where everybody's just, ducking and covering in the hallways, and the one girl said, if this happens, we're all going to be blown up. Why? Like, she's the one standing up, just saying, like, we should get to a shelter. How is this going to protect us? And she was totally right.
Richard, thank you for gifting another membership over on YouTube. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Did you know that the actress who was Mary Swanson in Dumb and Dumber was Chihiro's mother in Spirited Away? I saw SA before D&D, so whenever Mary talks, I think of Chihiro's mother. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, and I think she was she's also in Hot Frosty, another classic Christmas rom-com masterpiece, if you haven't checked that out. Have you seen it, Heather?
No.
Phenomenal.
Okay, all right.
Okay. If you like these bad Christmas rom-com, like purposefully bad, it's a lot of fun.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. It's time for Mr. Bean to get his head stuck in the turkey and Joey to scare Chandler.
Yeah, okay, so that's another show I gotta see. I've not seen Friends it just looked like a show I wouldn't like. I still think I probably wouldn't like it, but I know so many people that do, people I really trust. That I'm just like, I should give this a shot at some point. But yeah, again, it's not one I'm in a rush to see.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, how was Grand Rapids?
Great. The Days of the Dead was also really, really great. Yeah, we did two cons, 2 weekends in a row, and both were a lot of fun. And thank you again to all the people that showed up. I'll be posting pictures soon, hopefully in the next day or two.
The Masked Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. How do you avoid copyright? I'm curious.
We don't always. That's
Yeah.
the sad truth. But we have workarounds. So one of the reasons I always say that one of the reasons it cuts back to my face so much during the NCs isn't because I love seeing my face, even though it is gorgeous. It's honestly just splitting up the footage so that you don't get. I mean, it changes. Before it was like 12 seconds, and then it went to 11, then 12, and now the lowest we've gotten hit for something is 6 seconds, which is ridiculous.
So
But
short.
yeah, so I always try to edit it up as much as possible where there's not a ton of audio. If or I make the scenes really tight, just nothing over 6 seconds, or I'll zoom in on a certain part, or I'll get another person's reaction, which does challenge you as an editor. And on the plus side, it does make the videos a little tighter, so that's kind of nice. It makes the timing a little tighter. But yeah, that's really the best advice I can give. Is just if they try to go after copyright music, especially, probably even more than film footage. And yeah, just anything over 6 seconds. So just keep trying to break it up and chop it up. It's stupid. We shouldn't have to do it if it's a review, but yeah, it's what we got to do.
Richard, thank you for that 2-month membership over on YouTube. It's almost time. Christmas!
Excited, man.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather in Newsies, which villain do you like more, Warden Snyder or Joseph Pulitzer? I love that Pulitzer is a villain. I love Newsies. I think it's still the Warden, Warden Snyder. I think he's a little menacing. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I love Christmas song that you did a few years back. I always used to listen to it back in my college days.
Thank you for not using the full title, because again, that probably gets kicked off of YouTube. Well, not kicked off, but this would get demonetized.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you ever do a movie review of Cheaper by the Dozen, since Fox is now part of Disney?
No, I never saw the original. I love the original Yours, Mine, and Ours. I think it's a very funny movie. And I know Cheaper by the Dozen is like a similar type of film, so I hadn't seen it. Both have terrible remakes, I hear, and I'm just not interested in them.
Dave, thank you for the $5 super chat. You just did a review with Kevin Sorbo in it. So when can we expect God's Not Dead?
If I wouldn't dare touch that, because again, Brad Jones, Simba Snob, does all the movies, and he does them great. He's actually now friends with the person that runs Pure Flix, and he stars in those movies, and he rips those movies apart. But that guy is still friends with him. There's one time he was in the hospital, and he sent him like a get well card and everything, and he was gonna put him in a movie. He was gonna be an atheist DJ.
Oh my God, I love that for Brad.
But it was around the time his kid was born, and he was just like, "I'm sorry, my kid's due any day and everything, but please keep me in mind for any other role like that, because I would love doing that." I just think that's so cool that they're actually like really good friends.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do either of you have any experience with D&D? And if so, what kind of characters do you like to play? Favorite races, classes, etc.?
I don't. I think
He does not.
Once at a con, they tried to do it live, and I think I just don't follow it. So I think Amphibia put it best. It called it "Homework the Game." That's what it feels like to me. It's just not fun for me. I see why other people get into it. You can set up whole worlds and everything. That's really, really cool. But yeah, it's just not my thing. I'm sorry.
I've only played a couple of times. I really would like to get more into it, but only a couple of times, unfortunately. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Tobey Maguire will always be the original Spider-Man movie. Since I could not go to the movies to watch the re-releases of Spider-Man movies, I rewatched them on Disney Plus, and the last one on 4K since No Way Home is still not on Disney Plus.
I know a lot of people grew up with him and like him and stuff. He's better than I originally thought, but he's still like, I'm just not a big a fan of his. I don't know. I can't even say he's like awful. It's just I don't know. He gets on my nerves. I don't know. It's the derp face. I know it is. It's the derp face. I'm sorry. I can't. And the voice, just this kind of voice. Oh, I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. One thing I always remember about G-Force is that there was a line from Bill Nighy in the trailer that wasn't in the movie to make him look like the villain, where he says, "Are we ready? It's not easy to take over the world."
Yeah, I do not recall that in the movie.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. TLDR, Correction Wonderful Life was public domain for a while in the 80s, became copyrighted again, and will become public domain permanently in 2042.
Okay, that's why, because I feel like that'd be bigger news
Right.
if it was going to be public domain, because that's such a big movie. And again, they really have their claws sunk in on that movie. Anyone plays even a second from it, they're like, claim. I mean, they're right on it. So, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
I make content. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen Speed Racer? It's a pretty good anime movie. It's like Scott Pilgrim, RRR, and Cars in one.
Boy, you're right about Cars. Yeah, so I did a crossover review with Ben at the Sage. I think that's on his channel. And I saw it when it came out. And I see why some people like it. I can't stand it. I can't get into it at all. I'm not even like a diehard like fan of the original Speed Racer or anything. I just found it so annoying. Something like Spider-Verse is a little bit more what I'm looking for with a movie like that. But yeah, it wasn't for me. I do understand why it has a following though.
Camera, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's the name of the remix of He's a Pirate for the intro of Pirates Month?
Oh, it's just something my dad put together. If we ever need something that sounds similar to a type of music, but
Legally
we
distinct.
Yeah, exactly. We can play without getting a copyright claim. We usually let him do it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite scene in the original Santa Claus movie?
And now which one we talking about the Tim? How's it spelled?
Clause.
Okay, the Tim Allen one. Honestly, just where Santa Claus died. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought the movie was going to be a little darker when I saw it. And I like Tim Allen. I think he's very, very charming. I don't think there's much to the movie, honestly. I don't get into it. The second one, actually, even though I can't say it's anything that great, I actually do like the romance. I think it's a legit kind of romantic movie, and I'm not a big romance guy. So I'm like, all right, so that's something. And then 3 is so bad, it's great.
Ben, thank you for the $8 super chat. Did you ever watch more Bluey after making the Dark Toons on Copycat?
Yeah, so when I first got the really bad chronic fatigue, like it was really bad, the 2 shows I would just constantly watch were Seinfeld and Bluey. And I think it's because neither were about anything particularly complicated or heavy. They usually say it's a show about nothing. It's like, well, no, it's not about nothing. It's about little things. And those were perfect shows to watch when I was in La La Land,
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. Was in the UK for a business trip, so I got to see Paddington in Peru early. It's still a charming and pleasant film despite a weak third act. I give it 3.5 out of 4 miscast Colin Firths.
Okay. Yeah, because I like the other 2 movies quite a bit. So yeah, I'm curious to check it out.
Adam, thank you for the $10 super chat. What moment from Quiet on the Set shocked you the most without going into too much detail? For me, it was the mother told the story of her daughter getting a traumatizing email.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Just it's the Drake Bell interview in general,
Yeah, that was really rough. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those where I almost kind of don't want to remember it, kind of thing. I'm just sort of like, okay, got it. Now I know the details. Now I don't really want to think about this again. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I do remember that bit with the email where that was such a, like somebody you think you really trust and just something that's sent to you. No, it's unpleasant.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, I know you like Firefly, so I was wondering, have you seen Joss Whedon's other shows, Buffy or Angel? If you have, which one do you like more? I only saw bits and pieces of Buffy, which honestly is so on brand for me. I need to just sit down and watch more of Buffy because I'm sure I would love it. What little I did see, I did love. So yeah, I haven't seen much of Buffy or Angel, but I did watch all of Dollhouse when he did Dollhouse. But I think one of my favorite things of Joss Whedon outside of Firefly is probably Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. I love Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
There's this guy I've talked about a couple times called the Cosmonaut Variety Hour. He reviewed this Spider-Man fan film that came out, and halfway through, he says, the way I'm going to show how this should have been done, I'm going to review something else. And it's an episode of Buffy called The Body. And I don't know anything about Buffy. I don't even know if I saw the original movie. But hearing him talk about this sounds like one of the most fascinating things like ever filmed. To a point where I'm almost like, I don't even know if I want to watch it. It just sounds a little too good at what it's trying to do. And it's the first thing ever that made me say, I think I got to watch this show because this looked like masterfully done. And it actually made me really, really want to check it out. So it's weird to watch a show just for one episode that's in like one of the later seasons. But it is the first thing where I just go, okay, maybe I should check this out.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you find it sus that the original 4 Indiana Jones movies were taken down from Disney Plus, and now it's only the 5th one that's on it?
That is weird. That's weird. I'll say this. I mean, I don't know if it was as much. I'm sure they're looking at numbers. I mean, I think stuff on Disney Plus are just going by numbers. But I would think those would do well. And the 5th one, I can only see keep it around because it's like, well, it just came out. Let's give it a chance because it's a newer movie and people probably stream that over, buying it. Yeah, no, that's a little weird though.
I mean, maybe they were doing too well and they found out they could make money by renting it on Amazon versus putting it for free on Amazon Plus with a subscription.
but that'd be weird that they're not doing well. They're Indiana Jones. Yeah.
No, I'm saying the opposite, that they were doing well and that they maybe decided then to take it off the service and have people pay money if they want to rent it.
And that would explain why 5's not there. Yeah, okay, the guy adds up.
Mm-hmm. Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. I still get a laugh at your answer to that drug PSA that asks any questions. Some of your answers are, does this count as a brain Benedict? And is it true that you can't make an omelet without breaking some brains?
I gotta watch those again. Those sound pretty funny.
Hyperdevil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 500 bits. What was your worst experience when going to see a movie? Excuse me. For me, it was when I see the Pet Sematary remake. A group of teens came in midway through. They would not stop talking and kept screaming at every single jump scare. One was on their phone describing the movie to a friend who couldn't make the screening.
I remember, so we saw Return of the King a couple times. A lot of times kids would start to get really antsy. I mean, that ending at the end especially keeps going and going, doesn't it? But I remember that was always kind of annoying. So every time we watch it, be like, okay, like we see a bunch of kids, and it's like, what's the group of little a-holes that are going to screw up, the last little bit here. So that was a little annoying. I don't know what the worst experience is. I mean, I mainly have good experiences, thankfully.
We're gonna have to pick it up just a little. We're getting a flood of last minute stuff here. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In your younger years, did you ever get toys?
The movie or just in general?
It just says, in your younger years, did you ever get toys?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's surprising. I thought Rob would have stolen them all. But
oh, I see.
Patsy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen Olive the Other Reindeer? It's an original Christmas short with a great cast and music. It's mostly fun and uplifting. Y'all are just loving Olive the Other Reindeer today.
Yeah, I guess I gotta see this. I'll try to see some place to stream it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather and Vox Machina, what do you think of the romance between Vax and Keyleth? I like it. I think Keyleth does a lot to help Vax become a better person. So I like it. Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Besides Brazil, what are some of your favorite dystopian movies/books?
I don't know, does Animal Farm count? 1984. Yeah, I mean, definitely Orwellian. I guess the Mad Max movies, I guess those kind of count too in a weird way. Those are more apocalyptic, but yeah, that should be good.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which pair of parents do you like more? Anne's in Amphibia or Molly's in The Ghost and Molly McGee?
trying to remember the one Amphibia. Probably Amphibia. I like them a little more.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can I get a quick birthday shout out for my friend Mike?
Happy birthday, Mike.
There was more to it, but it was a trap. Andrew, thank you for the $10 super chat. I don't see you did a Transformers 1 Untitled review. Have you seen it? If so, what did you think?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to. Both my brother and I are going to try and see it so we can do a review together.
Hyperdevil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 500 bits. My friend watched your members only stream on YouTube yesterday. Is it true what she told me? Did you really fire Tamara out of a cannon?
Well done. Yeah, man, I should have phrased it that way. It's funnier that way. Oh, you took my joke and improved it. Yeah. There's parts of her all over the front. And no, she was not fired.
No, she's just working on other projects right now.
Yeah.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever do a Disney December on Futurama?
I guess I could. We were talking about maybe like including like Hulu shows or something like that on there, which I guess it's on now. So it might be an idea.
Wolf Moon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey guys, so I was watching your old video talking about where the wild things are and was curious if there will be a proper review of the film. It's on Max.
I'll probably do. There's at one point I want to do like an editorial review talking about emotional storytelling where I'll bring that into it. I don't know if I'm going to do it as an NC or myself, but I'll talk about more down the line.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. You're right about that Buffy episode. The Body is an amazing episode. It's hard to watch, but you can't stop after you start.
Yeah, his review of it really captivated me.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. The Indiana Jones films have migrated to Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know they're owned by Paramount, and that would explain why Disney has the fifth one because only they made that one. So, okay, yeah, because I know it was LucasArts, but originally Paramount released them, so that makes more sense. Okay.
McKinley, thank you for the $2 super chat. Honest Reviewer, thank you for that 30-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back, appreciate it. Sup, Doug and Heather. Only reason I remember Meet the Spartans is because in the 2008 Rambo SFs, they mentioned how kids were discovered buying Spartans tickets just to sneak into Rambo.
Yeah, I think somebody in the comments or something was putting that in there, and I was just like, oh, interesting. I'm like, but Meet the Spartans, I mean, at least the version I saw, maybe it was the unrated one, looked like an R-rated movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the stuff I couldn't show, but again, maybe it's the unrated version.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I missed the members only chat this week. Sorry, I had a lot going on yesterday. No need to apologize. You're good.
Okay, yeah.
Leprechaun Farmer, thank you for the $10 super chat. I recently watched the original House of Wax for the first time and feel that a generic teen slasher was definitely not the way to go for the remake.
No, the original is pretty fun. Again, Vincent Price is so great in that movie. He's just hamming up, but he makes him really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, and we did make it. Sorry, I got a little nervous where all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, there's more. I thought we were doing well. I'm sorry, I got nervous. That's it. McKinley, thank you for the $2 super chat. Doug, where is Barbie month?
Boy, well, okay, so I guess you'll get a little bit of a sneak peek in this December. So that should be a big hint what that is, but there you go.
Marie, thank you for the $2 super chat. Yep, it was the Alistair one. Thank you. The poster that you pointed out, yeah.
All right, perfect.
It was the correct one.
There, yeah.
Maori Link, thank you for the $3 super chat. Good day. Can you do a good parody movie?
A superhero movie was almost good. So yeah, we were talking about doing Spaceballs maybe sometime next year. So you'll see that.
Banana Bear Show, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, what do you think about the Banana Bear Show? They think you are awesome.
I'm not sure I know what that is. Hold on, Banana Bear.
Well, considering that the Banana Bear Show asked the question, I'm assuming they're a YouTube channel.
Gotcha. I am not aware of what this is. I guess I'll try to look into it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you ever see the Book of Mormon? There's a lot of Disney references in the play.
I hate saying this because I don't like doing it. I so rarely do it, but I did see a bootleg of it. And I liked it. I liked it a great deal. But that's it. But it's not something I need to see on stage. I'm not a big Broadway musical guy, so it is one of those things where I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm not going to do this with anything else because I usually try to see stuff I want to see on the stage.
Retro Schmo, thank you for the $5 super chat. As a nostalgic Chicago native, have you often visited the sites of John Hughes movies?
Sometimes, like we driven by the Home Alone house. Well, some I just go to naturally, like the art museum. I just like going there.
Right, right. Okay, we might have time for one or two questions here. Master Mario over on Twitch says, what's an unsolved mystery that creeps you out? I think the I-70 killer is creepy. The disappearance of Asha Degree is weird, as is the disappearance of Mikhail Biggs.
I don't know. Maybe after seeing, I mean, there's already a lot of creepiness around it, but the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa, I know it's like a classic one, but after seeing The Irishman, and apparently they went to that house and they did find some DNA of his there, that made me go, whoa,
Ooh,
like that's interesting.
that is interesting. And Achilles over on YouTube asks, Doug, would you ever want to see the Beauty and the Beast Broadway musical?
If I had like a free ticket to it, again, I'm sure it's great. I'm not gonna say like, oh, it looks bad or anything. I'm just not a huge Broadway musical guy, so it has to really be something like I have a lot of interest in. So if somebody was going ahead a free ticket, I'd totally go with.
Okay, great. And I think that brings us to 8 o'clock here. JL,
Alrighty.
thank you for the 500 bits. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a good night. Well, we couldn't have said it better ourselves, so we won't. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you got blurry for just 1 second there. You're pretty okay though. Yeah, there you go. You're good. You're looking sharp, Doug. Anyway, thank you all so much, so much for being here. We are thankful for you, genuinely, chat. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. We are thankful for all of you. If you are in the United States, have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. On the Twitch end of things, we're gonna go raid Miss Tamara Chambers, who is live on the internet on Twitch right now. We will not have streams tomorrow on Twitch because it is Thanksgiving, but Doug is going to be back on Friday, okay? We normally wouldn't stream the day after Thanksgiving, but we have been gone for 2 Fridays now. 2 in a row because of cons. So we will make that sacrifice for you, chat. So come back to YouTube and Twitch for where Doug will pick up playing more Sonic X Shadow Generations.
And a big thank you to Heather, because I really don't think I don't think I could do it on my own without her. So I guess I say y'all thank her for that, definitely.
Awesome. All right, everyone. We'll have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. It is the largest drinking night in the United States. So stay safe, everybody. And have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.